Good morning, you guys. Sun. The sun, is it the sun? And sun. Good morning. J-Bond, what's happening? What's happening, you guys? We talking today. We're going to go in a minute, let a few hit that thumbs up as you guys are coming into the live. Y'all know I be having to have these conversations, man. I have to have these conversations to set the record straight. I have to have these conversations to set the record straight. I have to. You know what I'm saying? Share the live. We're gonna let a few more people go up, come up in here, and then we're gonna get started. Good morning, J Bond. Good morning, son. Marie Handy. If you're new to my channel, please hit that thumbs up and consider hitting subscribe to the channel, please. I appreciate you. Consider subscribing to the channel, please. Thank you. I appreciate you if you do. Uh, who else is that? That's J Bond. That's Maria. I know YouTube will send out the notifications. Sometimes it takes a minute for them to send them out. So we just got hold off and see how long it takes them to send these other notifications off. Let's see. Let's see how they working today. All right, we're gonna see how YouTube is working today. Hold on, you guys. Let's see if they're doing what they're supposed to do today. All right. We're about to peep it out. I had like total of about 11,000 folks coming and going. Last night it was kind of crazy. It was kind of cool too. You know, it was it was pretty good, man. You know, um, we're gonna get into this subject about independent artists and why most independent artists don't make it. Everybody want to know why most independent artists don't make it. They want to know, y'all. Artists want to know. What's up? Hit like as you coming into the live, you guys. Hit the thumbs up. You know what our combo is today. It's on there. It's right on the subject line. Why independent artists don't make it. I mean, most of them know the answer to it. Most of them just don't seem to want to pay attention to the answer to it. What's happening, family? Morning, hit that thumbs up. You guys know you coming in, hit the thumbs up. Hey, Banks, family said, what's good, Brother Stone? Good to see you, hear you again, brother. Thank you. I was on last night, man. I was cutting this comp, so I'm working on this compilation. I was gonna be the hip hop, but then I called the West Coast. Stone Paxton presents the West Coast Hip Hop Volume 1, but it's artists from all over the world. And I had Pack Heat in here last night. It was an incredible session. It was an incredible session last night, you guys. The session was amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. Miss Easy say if you break your TV, I'm gonna give you Mr. Easy. I suggest you probably go to another channel with the morning bullshit already. Take that to another channel, fam. We ain't here for that. You must be a youngster. Y'all be on that bullshit early in the morning, don't y'all? Wake up, brush your teeth, man. Thank God for being here. Don't just start with that bullshit in the morning. Cherry P, what's happening? What's going on, Cherry P? J Bond say, y'all did wonderful, Pat. Yep. He did, yeah. Yeah, he did great. I actually prefer sessions, But when I can't get an artist in the session, I roll with whatever I can roll with, and that is, we'll just get the stems and then we make it work. Nick say, would you rather be like Rick? What I'd rather be like is, Nick, you take your ass somewhere else to another channel and do some other corny shit. How about that? Before you get blocked from my channel. Coming up in here, come in to learn. Don't come in to troll. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Don't, I mean, is that what you do? Like you wake up in the morning and you just decide you're gonna be a troll? Is that like a daily thing? You practice on that shit? You go to class for that? You got troll university you go to? And that's what you do? You practice on how to be a well-qualified troll? Man, come on, man. Y'all stop that. That's ignorance. Red Clay, what's up? Why most artists don't make it? You guys want to know the real answer to that? Because there's so many, it's like a tree with branches. There's so many answers to that. There's so many answers to why. Here's the thing: success is measured by where you are today and where you want to be tomorrow. It's not measured like if you had zero and you want to be all the way here. Success is measured by even small amounts. If you measure success by small amounts, you'll have a lot of success because then you're not really putting too much pressure on yourself. If you go, okay, you know what? I want to be successful, so I'm not going to say that I need to make 1 million tomorrow. You might not make the 1 million tomorrow, so you can't freak out. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're further than you were yesterday, then that is success. If you're 20 steps closer to your goal, then that is success, you guys. You got to look at it like that, right? But here's the problem: most artists are not going to put forth the effort it takes to really make it in the music industry. Most artists are lazy. I'm just telling you, most artists are lazy. Most artists are not going to want to really put in the work it takes to really get to where they need to get. Most artists are going to make excuses. Most artists are not going to spend their money in the area they should spend it in. They're going to spend it on all the things that don't matter. Most artists live a very disillusional life in the way they think. They do. Most artists are in the disillusional world, very delusional. Sorry. Just all over the place mentally, right? No stability, no stability in their mind. I'm just being honest with you, okay? No mental stability. See, people think making it, being successful is all about you get a record deal and then you just that's it. You like you're a star, right? You get a record deal and you're a star. No, there's a lot that goes into this. There's the long road. The long road is when you paid your dues and you're constantly having to work and work to build, to work to continue to grow your art, your craft, your talent. And then some people get lucky and get a record deal early. Some people might not ever get the record deal, but as an independent artist, they end up getting success on the independent level. And most of those people that do that are usually people who have really truly paid their dues in hard work, and they put their money where their mouth is. They don't talk, they don't do a whole bunch of talking. They get to work. Like you guys see me working. You don't see me doing a lot of talking. I mean, I do talk, but you see me work. I work. I don't talk. I don't over impress upon myself. I don't over impress upon you guys. I just get to work, man. Frozen, take your monkey ass somewhere else and wash your ass, man. Get up in the morning, go brush your teeth and wash your ass instead of getting up on some bullshit. You just something wrong with you, bro. Go take your meds, man. What I'm starting to understand is a lot of people on medication on YouTube. That's one of them. Frozen, go take your meds. You didn't take them this morning. Go take your meds fast before you start before you start shorting out like a machine with the wiring that's jacked up. Go take your meds, fam. You need them. You already on here saying weird stuff. You feel me? Something wrong with you. Go get that brain check. Now, and stop coming in here trying to throw me off of my conversation because I'm going to start just blocking you. That's what I'm going to do. This is for my independent artists. Everybody wants to be successful in the music industry. But if you really want to be successful, there's just a key number of things that you're going to have to do. And one of those main things you got to do, you got to invest in yourself. There's a lot of artists out here that are not good artists, that are not good singers, that are not good rappers, that are not good producers. But it doesn't mean that you can't be good. It doesn't mean if you don't work, if you work hard, that if you can't work, if if you put in the work, that it's not going to happen. Because if you put in the work, it's going to happen. That's your guarantee. And no matter what, you put in the work, it's going to happen. Sometimes it might take longer. Some people get lucky and they run into some opportunity. Cherry said, honestly, day is what these independents need. Day is what these independents need. Is there no protection for artists? They're dying off faster. Stone, any advice on how to stay alive in the business? That's important. Well, first of all, you got to get in the business to be able to stay alive in the business. Right now, I'm talking about getting in the business. I do have advice about how to stay alive when you're in the business, but first you got to get in the business. If you ain't even in the business, none of that even matters. You know what I'm saying, Jerry? If they're not even in the business, none of that staying alive, it doesn't even matter because they got to figure out how to stay alive every day. You feel me? Cherry, listen, Cherry, they have to figure out how to stay alive in real life every day. Forget the music industry. they got to figure out how to stay alive in general. You feel me? Like wake up in the morning, get in the car, drive down the street, be a defensive and offensive driver, survive. Survive during the week. Let alone the music industry is a whole nother freeway. The music industry is a whole nother highway and freeway. Because they might not ever get in the business. Because they might not have the discipline to get in. You see what I'm saying? So they first got to get in on the freeway of music to be able to be like, now I got to survive because I'm on the freeway of music. So now I got to survive. If they never make it on the freeway of music, they can't even begin to think about surviving in it because they're not even in it. Now, there's a lot of people that think they're in the music industry and they ain't made one dime because a lot of people think because they put a record out, they officially in the music industry. No, it doesn't work that way. What makes you a professional in the business you're in is when you actually make your first dollar from that. When you make your first dollar from that, you are officially a professional in that business. It doesn't matter if you make $2. Now you are a professional. You might not make 20 million, but you made money. You are a professional recording artist or musician because you made your first dime like a business. When you open up a business, you make your first dollar, you put that dollar up on the wall. You are officially a legitimate business. You have made your first dollar. The key is now, how do I make $5? And then after you make the five, then how do I make 10? After you make the 10, how do I make 20? And so on and so forth. But surviving the music industry first, you got to learn how to survive to get in it. Jerry, you know what I'm saying, Jerry? They got to first survive to get in the game. If they can't even get into the game properly, there's no need to even worry about surviving in the game. Brother Sean, y'all hit that thumbs up as you guys are coming in. Thank you, please. Johnson Bench, hello, beautiful Sophia. They on you today, so people. Who they on? Hey, they on Cambodian Mystique today, CC. Who she getting flirted on? Johnson Bench say, like the stream. Thank you. Sonya said, great advice. We're going to get into that, though, Cherry. Sean said, yep, Stone ain't lying. Thank you, Sonya. Listen, I am tired of seeing artists play, and I had a conversation with Pac Heat last night and his wife and his son. I'm tired of seeing artists play music industry like kids play dollhouse. This shit is a game for people. This is real for me. It's a game for a lot of people. If you ain't trying to be in the music industry, keep it moving. Don't waste the air and the space for the people that's really doing this for real. Go do something. Go be a farmer. Go to school, be a lawyer. Go to be a nurse. Go work at McDonald's. Whatever. And there's nothing wrong with none of them jobs. I'm just saying, stop breathing the air of the artists that are doing this seriously. If you're not serious about this, stop taking up the air. If you ain't serious about the music industry, stop breathing the air that the real folks are breathing. You partaking in their air. Stop doing it. Stop taking up the air. Y'all feel what I'm saying? It's enough that we have to deal with this AI bullshit. And I had a guy who was one of my subscribers. He's gonna send me a video and say, "Oh, Stone, check out my AI video." Brother, I love you. I respect my fellow brothers, but that video was garbage. I gotta be honest. I could have actually done you a better music video. It was garbage. Now, I've seen some great AI videos, but the particular one he sent me, and he actually went to tell me, "Hey, Stone, you got anybody need a video? Send them to me." No, Ninja, I won't be sending nobody to you. My name is on the line. You really want me to send some? You thought that video that you sent me was, come on, bruh. You're better than that. Come on, y'all thinking AI is a shortcut. You really think you're gonna cheat? There's a cheat code in the music industry? No. No. Did you not read what's happening? That labels are making a stance against AI and they do not want AI trained to use the model of their artists' voices without permission and using it in a prospective way to protect and not disrespect an artist. There's no shortcuts to this shit. You want to know why a lot of artists don't make it? Because they think this shit is easy. They think the easy way out is to go do a little CD, use AI, halfway rap, halfway sing, and put that shit out and exploit the damn independent industry by putting garbage out, really, really flooding the market with garbage and fucking it up for the good people that's got good music. Because when you take up that space, you are taking up that virtual space that's being used by artists like me and artists with names that are putting out quality music. Stop the cap. There's no shortcuts to this shit. Everybody want to be an artist because they think that's the easier way to being a millionaire. See, I know the game. I'm not stupid. Everybody wants to be an artist because they want to be famous. They want the girls and they want money. And they think the easy way is to go do a little half-ass song or CD and put it out. And then tell everybody they on Spotify or iTunes and they're like, ooh, that shit don't mean nothing. If you don't have nothing behind it, there's not going to be anything in front of it. Let me say it again. Listen, if you have nothing behind it, there's not going to be anything in front of it. You're only fooling yourself. If there's nothing behind it, how do you expect something to be in front of it? What do I mean? What do you mean, Stone? Well, there's nothing behind what you're doing. You didn't think it out. You didn't plan it. You just kind of just doing the shit with no real plan, no marketing budget, no reason why you need to pay the proper producers. Your idea of a producer is going online, SoundCloud, buying $10 beats, but you want to make $1 million result from buying $10 beats. You want somebody to pay you a lot of money, but you want to go, you feel like the music industry is worth $10, but you want to be a millionaire. Just listen to the psychology of that. You want to make millions of dollars, but you also want to only pay $10 or $20 for somebody's production because that's really what you believe it's worth. So when you don't see there's no value in what you're doing, how do you think the universe is going to pay you? God, Buddha, whatever you believe in, right? Universal law, whatever you said that says whatever you put in is what you get out, right? Right? Whatever you put in is what you get out. So if you believe that everything is $20 and $10, then that's what your career is going to be about. You're going to get a $20, $10 result. Facts. I'm just telling you what I know. You're gonna get $10 and $20 results. I'm talking to all y'all independent artists, y'all motherfuckers that think that you sitting around thinking you just gonna blow up off of $10, $20 results. And you go on spending $300 on Yeezys and Nikes, $500. You're black and mild. You roll up your blunts. You'll go spend $20, 20. I think you're $25, 2-3 days a week, but you won't go book the proper studio time with the right people that can help you get to where you need to get. Y'all make it make sense. I will promise you, you take that route, the mentality of thinking that everything's supposed to be given to you and you don't supposed to work for it, you ain't never gonna make it in the music industry. Now, I'm not jinxing nobody. I'm just giving you you're talking to somebody that spent 42 years in this business, busting his butt. I busted my ass to be in this business. I paid my dues and I'm still paying my dues. And I didn't get none of it easy. So I'm not gonna get on here and act like this shit is easy, because then I would be playing myself by doing that to you independent artists, musicians, and singers and rappers and producers. I would be playing myself if I got on here and said, hey man, this shit is easy, man. It's easy, y'all. Y'all, anybody can do this, yo. Yo, y'all can, yeah. I love to inspire, but I want to inspire with reality. I'll inspire you. I'll say you can make it, but also I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, man. Because nobody lied to me. I came up in this game when people told the truth. If it was white, they would say, yo, Paxton, sorry, let me block this so people don't call me. Say, yo, Paxton, this is the 80s. Yo, Pax, that's nice, Paxton, but that's horrible. They didn't even say whack back then. They didn't really use the word whack. They would just be straight up like, yeah, that track is horrible. And it's either your feelings was gonna get hurt and you miss opportunity, or you were gonna deal with it and get better. The way people are built these days, they couldn't have grew up during my time in music and have an executive say it's whack. Y'all would have gave up because you barely can tell anybody or give anybody advice right now. They get upset. But independent artists wonder why an artist who might not be that great might make it. Let me tell you what that person, excuse me, what that person had that made it. That might have been, you might have been better than that person that you see that just skyrocketed and hit the charts. And you're like, man, I'm better than that rapper. I'm better than that singer. Well, let me tell you what they had. Number one, they had humility. Let me spell it out again. They had humility. First, it wasn't about how talented they were. They were humble. They paid their dues. They might have had a job. They saved their money so they can pay for the right producer and studio time. They didn't ask anybody to do nothing for free. You know how many people I get on here try to pick my mind for free? Yo, Stone, hit me up in my inbox. Yo, I got a question. All right, consult. Do not message me with questions that I done spent all my life having to learn through the hard work and learn. And you just want me to give you the knowledge because you just feel like I'm supposed to give it to you. The game is sold, not told. You know how many years I went learning the things I learned to be able to put myself in a better position as an artist? And you meet me on YouTube and I'm giving all kinds of game for free. I come on my channel and I give all kinds of knowledge for free. Some take it, some don't. Most don't. But most will message me in my inbox and asking me a million damn questions. And I'm not here for your entertainment. I'm not here to be your muse to the Pharaoh. I am not your muse. I'm not here to just give you answers and you think I'm just going to do that on your time. No, you want me to do that on my time, you're going to pay a consulting fee. Showing you why artists don't make it. Y'all want to know? I'm giving you the hint. Telling y'all why. This is why artists do not make it. They want a handout. Most independent artists, most artists in general, they want somebody to give them a handout. Yeah, it's a fact. They want everything free, yo. Everything. If they can get it all for free, they'll take it. Then turn around and be your enemy. I'm just telling you facts. Turn around, be your enemy. Those same people. Those same people. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You guys really want to make it? You really want to know the real answer to being successful? There's no shortcut. I'll say again, there is no shortcut to making it. There is none. There's no fast way. There's no alternative route. There's really no cheat code to the music industry. Although there's some people that will tell you it is. There isn't. There is no cheat code. You understand what I'm saying? There's no fast way except for the right way. And that is to build relationships, to work hard, number one, work hard, number two, work hard, number three. Number four, respect. Really, that should be at the top of the list. Number one should be have your money together, then respect, then relationships, and work hard. And you combine all those things together before you know it, you look up that success you want has happened. But it's not going to be overnight. I'm just being transparent to you. If you do happen to be one of the fortunate ones that make it overnight, you've done something very rare and special. And typically there's a crazy price to pay for that shit. Need I read many stories from the past and share with you those narratives and stories of people that made it overnight and paid the price for that? There's prices to certain shit like that. Because typically they've made a pact with somebody, the devil or somebody, to, hey, if you make me famous, I'll do whatever I have to do. I mean, I've met people that said that to me, like, man, whatever it takes, Stone, I just want to make it. I said, bro, that's not a good approach. I've said it to females and men. You opening yourself, you're opening a portal. When you say whatever I got to do to make it, that's scary. Why not just work hard? Why not just build relationships? You know how many relationships I have in this business with people? You know how many relationships I built with very important people? That's why I make the moves I make. I have the relationships. I do. Sean said, yo, Stone, you literally um, naming some of my songs in your speech. Wow, really? Brother Sean, that's crazy. J Bond say people are really deceitful, envious, and jealous. Absolutely, they are, Jay. Ari, what's up? Hit the thumbs up when you guys are coming in the live. Y'all know I don't just get on here for fun. I get on here to speak. Ari, I appreciate you. I'm having a balanced morning, always. High frequency, every day for me. It doesn't matter if I'm having a bad day. You probably would never know because I don't show it because I look for the things that I should appreciate. You know, Cherry P came in here and she said, Stone, can you show artists how to survive in the music industry? And I said to Cherry, I said, yeah, I can talk about it, but they first got to be in the business. How can I talk about how to survive in the business when most of the people I'm talking to ain't in the game? I can give you an outside analogy, but that conversation is reserved for those that have busted their ass to first be in the business. Do you agree, Cherry P? Like me sharing that with the artists that are not in the business is kind of unfair for the ones that have busted their butt to be in the business, right? Sean says sink or swim. So if I share how to make it, how to survive in the industry, would that not be fair to the people that are in the business that work their hardest to get in here? And then I'm sharing that information with people that ain't even busted their butt. They shouldn't have privy to be able to hear a conversation like that at all because they're not in the business. That allows them to feel like they sit at the same table the people that have worked very hard sit at. And that's kind of unfair. Not kind of, it is. It just bluntly, it's unfair because they didn't work to sit at that table. So they don't deserve that conversation. I mean, they really don't deserve that conversation. I could have it, but I'd rather say, hey, this is how you make it in the music industry. Cherry P said, why did I mention the previous? Because the conspiracies with Angie and now D'Angelo is crazy. That's all. No, no, Cherry, trust me. You're one of my solid folks, so I feel you. I just don't want these independent artists to feel like they sit at the same table. So what I will do is we'll talk about folks in the music that's really in the game and how we survive. That's what I'll do, Terry, for you. Yeah, Sean, keep it real with them, Sean. Don't bite your tongue. Don't, no matter how mad they get at you, Sean, keep it real with them. You know, the truth is the truth. Barbara, what's happening? Barbara, hit that thumbs up. I appreciate you. You know, Terry, this business, without me spilling a lot of stuff that I got to be careful about talking about, I'll say this. What we saw happen to Angie and what we saw with D'Angelo passing away. Some things are conspiracy, some things are merely facts and shit that actually happens in this business. So there's a few different sides of the coin in this music industry. Is how does a person in this business survive with their life? Number one, let's say that. No, with their sanity, number one, in their life, number two. Although both of those things kind of go hand in hand. We got to be careful in this business. We got to be careful every step we take. Imagine walking on hot coal, but you got some cold pieces of coal, right? And in martial arts, we do this training. We have to walk on hot coal. You pass certain tests, right? You know, and you have to walk on these hot pieces of coal, and you got to walk all the way across. Sometimes it's 20 feet, sometimes it's less, 10 feet. So it's, a lot of that's mind over matter, right? And you learn how to separate the body from the mind, right? And the spiritual element to be able to do that. In the music industry, it's similar. Everything that you see is not really real. It's all a mirage. Sean said, y'all don't realize he is a legend. Javon said, I've learned that proximity and alignment is key through life. Also, attitude is everything. So may artists already feel like they made it. The truth hurts, but the truth should make people better. Well, and here's the thing. As I continue to expand on what Cherry P asked me, but I'll let me let me bounce on what Jay Bond said. If you think you've already made it, what's the reason to try to do anything else? If in your mind you feel like I've made it, hey Stone, I made it, man. Who are you, Stone? I'm an artist, man. I got all these songs out, man. I made it. If you think you made it, then you're not gonna listen to nobody on how to really make it. Not even the people that have had the hits. You might run into them and they're trying to give you advice and you're not even listening. You just messed up a great opportunity. In order to know where you need to get, you first got to know where you're at, right? Think about traffic. If you're lost somewhere and you don't know where you're going, you don't just keep driving. You pull over. You ask somebody, is such and such that direction? Because according to my GPS, it's sending me in circles. They'll say, oh, no, yes, you go down the road, make a left. You were in the right area. And then it's that building on the right. Life is that way. We all need roadmaps. We all need direction. If you think you made it, you're never going to have the real answer to making it because you're not going to follow the roadmap, even when people give you the directions, because your ego says that you have made it. But once you accept this is where I'm at, then guess what? That's the day that you have just opened the corridor to your success because you have figured out the real key to success is listening and accepting that you're not where you want to be and saying, I am right here, right now. This is where I'm at, but this is where I want to be. So now I know where I'm at, so I know where I need to get. R. Wells, thank you, family. R. Wells for the $5 super chat. He said, best MPC master, Kanye West, number 2. Jay Dilla, 3. Stone Paxton, I said what I said what I said. Oh, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do that to me, bro. You pumping my ego up today. Thank you, family. R. Wells, I appreciate you, bro. That's crazy. Y'all hear what R. Wells said? He said, best MPC master, number one. And he said, number two, Kanye West. Number three, J Dilla. Stone Paxton, I said what I said. R. Wells, I appreciate you for that, man. I really do. Because a lot of people in the music industry feel that same way. And I appreciate you. And, you know, a lot of these MPC cats online, they be low-key scared of me. That's why they don't mention my name. Y'all want to know why a lot of the content creators that use the MPC on their channels don't mention my name? But they'll send people to these little channels like, oh, go check out Lil Pookie T's beats. Man, Lil Pookie T got a cold beat. Check out Lil Pookie T. And you go over there and it's like this. They don't mention my name. Listen, EA and I, we always mention each other's names because we respect each other first. And we're brothers in the art too, and the martial arts, and we're brothers in the music art. We respect each other. That's why we talk about each other and mention each other's names. Now, you ask yourself a question. Why would a content creator who's on a machine, who's never used a machine as long as me and EA Ski, as many years we've been using it, not mention my name? And they barely want to mention Ski name. But when they mention Ski name, they mention Ski's name so they can try to get, points and get people looking at their videos. Oh, they mention EA Ski because they know EA Ski deals with a lot of people like I do. So, and then he produced that new Ice Cube single. So they love mentioning Ski's name so they can get people to come to their channel. Y'all get the game? Y'all see the hustle? But before they knew who Ski was, they weren't trying to mention Ski's name because the same effect they were running on Ski, they've been running on me. And as soon as Ski made that controversy about the converters, then everybody want to try to debate with him when he was all along being straight up and transparent and honest and telling the truth. Then everybody want to get on the narrative of his name. They were riding his jock like they still do, right? But pound for pound, you won't hear them mentioning my name and Ski name like they do with mediocre beat makers. And I said it. I don't care what people say. I said it. So that lets you know. But those when I got on YouTube, check this out. 2008. I want you to go back, look through my channel, and I want you to go to all those content creators who are content creators and not producers. They're just strictly content creators. They haven't been producing records through the years. Go look through their channels and see how long they've been using MPC on their channel. Go back. Go back. Look at my channel. I got on YouTube when YouTube started. I stopped and started back in 2008. When I got on MPC 2008, I barely saw. Really, there was probably about three guys. Myself, DL, Ski was on there. Myself, DL, and another guy. This guy named DL. He was on there, me, and one other guy. You didn't see none of the usual suspects you see now. Because those cats were on Machine and Logic and Fruity Loop. They were nowhere to be found. Make it make sense. That's why they don't mention Stone Pax's name. So I appreciate my brother that came in here, R. Wells, and said what he said. I appreciate that, R, because that means that R really pays attention. R knows the truth. He listens and he pays attention. He knows what's up. Real people know what's really up. You can't pull the carpet or the wool over their head. Know that, content creators. When you're done with the tricks and the backflips and the wave on the floor, then you got to make real music and put out real albums. You feel what I'm saying? That's all that's going to stand. When you get through explaining to people about taking your master class, how are you not a master in a machine, but you create a master class? I mean, I would think that if I'm going to create a master class in something, I should be a master. Now I'm going to get back on the D'Angelo and Angie Stone thing, but my brother R. Wells did that comment, so I had to, I appreciate that. He's I'm trying not to be arrogant. He gave me a great compliment this morning, but it opened up something for me to think about, something for me to share. Think about this, you guys. Hold on. DB Eaton says, Stone, I've been in this game for over 23 years. We need to we need to protest or do something to stop the AI artists. How can an artificial artist get credit or even the writer is taking original create? Oh, it's going down. They just made an announcement the other day. that the industry is not having it. Like labels have come together, the biggest companies, you know what I'm saying, have come together and said, we ain't having it, AI. You can't train your models after our artists. If you want to use the artist, you got to come to us and you got to use it in a respectful way. We have to protect the artist. So it's backfiring in a big way, and it's going to work in our favor. This announcement was just made. But notice, when content creators get done being just content creators and saying, "Oh, let me show you how to use this MPC. Oh, and come take my masterclass for $64, and you can get kits on there, and you're selling gimmicks, man. I'm just being honest. You're selling gimmicks. Because why would I go take your masterclass? Who are you? Even though you might think you're a big content creator, what have you done besides create the content and get on Fruity Loops or Logic or the MPC and talk about it? You know that back in the day, we would get the MPC, we would never read the manual. We never used to read the manual. There was a guy named Amp Fiddler. He was a friend of mine, right? Amp taught Jay Dilla how to use the MPC. Amp Fiddler did. Amp was out of Detroit. Amp worked with everybody. He passed away, what, about a year and a half ago? Amp was a friend of mine. He taught Jay Dilla how to use the MPC. And one thing that he shared with me was he told Jay Dilla, don't even go through the manual. Don't look at the manual, man. Just get on it, and that way you don't follow, you don't operate like a robot by following the manual. Get on it and just learn it. Oh, Jay, man, thanks for the membership, Jay. Straight up, Jay, I appreciate that, man. Jay, I appreciate you, man. Sean said I incidentally walked in her dressing room while looking for the who. Hey, Sean, whose dressing room did you walk into? Rajmir, hit that thumbs up, family. Good morning. I'm here listening to you on the big TV. Hello, hey, Rajmir, family, I appreciate you. D say thanks for sharing. Hey, D, they putting a stop to this shit. It ain't gonna go like what they plan for this. They really stomping down on AI. The major labels are like, no, because they know that's gonna take money out of their mouths and their artists' mouth. Oh, you made a mistake and walk in Angie's room. What she say? Hey, baby, come on, it's okay. Come on in. How you? What's your name? What? Because that's Angie. She come like, hey, baby, ooh, it's okay. You know, come on in. How you? What's your name? She gonna ask you your name. That's what she did, didn't she, Sean? D said, don't forget about when the original MIDI software was DAWs first. Razmir said, I've been sick, feeling good, Razmir. D, listen, I've been using MIDI so long back then. I don't think a lot of the cats now would be able to stand to use MIDI. I'm going to tell you why. Because I had about 20 modules all working together in conjunction with each other. And sometimes you only had, most modules only had 16 note plenty. Some of them had 32 note. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically saying how many notes that instrument can play via MIDI. So if you had 20 machines connected, you had to turn off MIDI off of whatever channel you weren't using. Every machine, that opposite channel would have to be turned off. Or it would be a train wreck sound when you would play your beat, your track. All these weird sounds would play. Most of the cats now would not be able to even deal with that. Hey, I'm gonna take you back. I listen way before Cakewalk, D. I want you to look this program up. You're about to crack up. SP Gold, Voyatra SP Gold, way before Cakewalk. I was using Voyatra SP Gold as little blocks, bro. I was manipulating that program, making it do things it should have never done. Go look that program up. Voyatra SP Gold. Before Pro Tools, before Cakewalk, you're gonna look it up. You're gonna crack up. Voyatra SP Go, and I would MIDI up all my keyboards in my MPC. Right now, I didn't have to MIDI the MPC because it was pretty much standalone, but I would still MIDI it and use it in different ways when I wanted to use the software. Yeah. Listen, way before Cakewalk, there was Voyager SP Go. When you see a picture of this program, y'all gonna crack up. It's hilarious. Javon, Nuendo, you way that's way after that, bro. You more that Nuendo's more 90s. Late actually not even 90s. Nuendo was more, yeah, late 90s. Yeah, we talking about shit way before that, bro. The programs, the cast wasn't even nobody's even seen Voyager SP Go. When you look at it, go look it up. You're gonna crack up. Hood Portrait say Compton track sound. Listen, the Compton single is going to be out in 2 days. I'm mixing it today. It's going to be out in 2 days. We ain't playing. That's the first single on the compilation, on the West Coast Hip Hop Volume 1 compilation that's coming, is at Compton. Uh, by my boy Packy. John Taylor said, "What's up, my boy? Good morning, Brother John. What's happening? Hit that thumbs up, Hood Poetry, and Brother John, hit that thumbs up at the top for your brother. I appreciate you guys." Cherry say, I used Cakewalk and thought I was making my EP to sell. Laugh not loud. Not Cakewalk's not bad. Now let's not. We ain't gonna listen. I'm not even gonna play with you guys. I'm not gonna hold you. Cakewalk was a great program. Now it's even better. But I don't. I mean, I haven't used Cakewalk in years. But Boy Atra Gold goes way before that. Like I'm telling you, when you guys look this up, you are going to crack up. Look at Boy Atra SP Gold. You're gonna be like, damn, Stone, you were in the dinosaur age. Shadow World said that's what I started on. Voya MIDI, Orchestra Plus, then Soundmaster audio cards using sound. Hey, you use hold on. Shadow World, you use Voyager Gold too, SP Gold as well. If he used it, he'll tell you. It was little blocks. Shit was crazy. It was crazy, but somehow I was making that program sound like the MPC. I don't know how I was doing it. I was freaking it, making it do things it shouldn't do. Even the guy that sold the program to me said, I've never seen nobody at the store where I bought it, the music store. He said, I ain't never seen nobody use that program the way you use it back then. Rasmus said, I was thinking, I was mixing Logic and Fruity Loop sounds together. I created my own. Oh, yeah. You was using Logic as a plug-in, or were you using FL as a plug-in? Rasmir? Shadow, tell them about that SP Gold, will you please, bro? Tell tell folks on here about how that program was such a dinosaur program, but it ran smooth. No hiccups. I had that little MIDI converter. It was a MIDI box converter. I forgot what it was called, like MIDI sync. And then I would run all my instruments through the MIDI sync and then run that MIDI sync to the computer so that way I could connect all my modules. Buckeye say, good morning, Buckeye. What's happening, family? Hey, give me that thumbs up. You already know. I know I hate to say that every time, but sometimes we get caught up in the mix and we forget. Show that love, hit that thumbs up. D said, back in the day, I was producing and recording at TK Recording Studio in Miami, Florida. Owner Henry Stone. Hey, you know what's so crazy, D? You gonna crack up. You about to crack up. I know Henry. So it's a freaking small world. Cause I've been doing back in the day. You talking about like the 80s, right? 90s? Cause I was going back and forth to Miami, recording in Miami then. Sean says SP Gold. Yep. I'm thinking about trying to get SP Gold again just to put together my old school system I had before. Donnie say, word. I'm thinking about getting that old program and installing it just so I can build my old system and show you guys how my old system was, to show you how that program worked. That program was incredible for its time. Rasmus said I had a CD audio burner and recorded sounds. I played FL Studios like an instrument. Okay. So I'm saying you use FL as a plugin inside of Logic. Am I correct? Right? Because you use the sounds off of it. So you use it as a plugin, or you just put the sounds onto Logic via CD. You put them on CD and then put it into Logic. Is that what you did? So we're gonna get back into this D'Angelo and Angie. So because Cherry asked me a question, how do you make it alive and stay in the business and be in the business alive at that level? I'll be honest with you, Cherry. You got to watch the deals that you make. See, I didn't even know he died. You're the first person to tell me because I hadn't, recorded at that facility in years. So I didn't even, I just know Henry was a good dude. And I was young then. So he was a solid guy. I just remember the studio and that name because of me being stoned. I remember that name. When I met him, I said that. Oh, really? That's what he said to me. Charto World said, absolutely. I had a MIDI controller connected to the PCI input. See, there we go. Using a mouse to input my drums and keys to trigger sound fonts. This was 97, right when the internet first started. I love this brother right here, man. I do. He gets it. He's been there where I've been. That's when the internet just really kicked off. He gets it. He's been through the struggle as a producer on them old programs trying to make it. Now, this is what I didn't understand. Now, I was already using MPC. Let me tell you, WhY didn't record audio. But man, I was trying to figure out how to get audio up in there because I had my audio. I can't remember what audio card I had. I don't know if it's a Sound Lab or something. I was trying to figure out how to manipulate that program and get audio in, but it wouldn't do it. But the MPC would. But when I figured out how to manipulate it and make it sound like an MPC, I was like using my MP and still using SP Go. Hit that like button as you coming in. Call some Akatar. What's up, brother? That's my brother Kosamar Akatar 89. Rajmir said, yes, Fruity Loops as a, okay, yeah, that's a good way to use it. Kosamar Akatar, what's up, family? Chad said, yeah, that was the only downfall. I know, but listen, Chado, man, I was trying to figure that shit out. I was trying to be like a scientist. I was trying to figure out how to get audio in it, I called up my buddy who's a programmer. I said, can we alter this program? He was like, yeah, there's a way we can do it, but it's gonna, it'll take a while to do, but there's a way we can do it, man. Listen, I was trying to figure that out. And then boom, what they come out after that. Remember the program they came out with after that? Adam said, Adam, what's up, family? Hit that thumbs up. D said splicing to real tape. Yeah, I did. I used to hate that. Let me tell you why I used to hate splicing to real. Alex said I use reasons. Reasons is off the hook. When when Machine came out, Akai was still stuck back into the original way you had to hook up modules. So I was frustrated because I was still locking up my MPC. I was locking it to Pro Tools, right? I was locking it to Pro Tools, right? And all my audio was running through the 8 outputs, and then I had my vocals running. Strictly, my vocals are on Pro Tools, and my music was on the MPC. That's how I had it running. I had it locked up, and it was working smooth. MIDI time code, right? But when Reasons came out, I was like, ooh, it felt like the MPC. So I started using Reasons. And then finally, Akai introduced their new machines, their modern day machines, which was the MPC Ren. But I think, no, it's first the MPC Studio first, I think. It was the Studio first or the Element. And then they came out with the Ren. Then I said, oh my God, Akai is back with the new way of doing things. And that was it. I got back on my Akai. I had been on it, but now I could connect it to the computer. But I didn't like the fact that as soon as you close your laptop, it would shut off. I said they need to come out with a standalone like the original one. Then they eventually came out with the standalone. So the rest is history. Rajmir said I was doing doing it the long way, manipulating sounds. Then MTV Generator was a game on PlayStation 2 that let you sample beats and sound. Alex, I got the 2000 XL, 60, 62, Lindrum, all that old shit. Man, I didn't like when PlayStation did that. I was like, PlayStation trying to tap into the music. Stop it, man. I was like, come on, PlayStation, stay. Stay out the game, man. Play, but I know a lot of cats that was making beats on the PlayStation. I was cracking up. Chad Work said, yeah, the fact that you made the MPC and all your boards work with that sound card. Listen, Chad, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't know how I did it, but my mind was crazy. You know, back then we was figuring shit out. We knew that we had limited things to work with, limited sample time, limited ability, capabilities of making things. Even some of the MIDI things that I made work, like what you're saying, shouldn't have worked. I remember I used to take my computer to this computer place when I would have like the MIDI glitches. And the guy would say, well, wait a minute, how many things you have hooked up to this? And I said, oh, I got 20 modules. He said, well, technically, you shouldn't be able to work smooth at all. You need to have two different, he was telling me I need to have almost two or three different MIDI sync boxes for all that stuff to work correctly. So he said he didn't know how I was able to get it all to work the way I was making it work back then. But you know, I was like a little mini scientist. We had to be that way. Hey, Major say I use Reasons on my main DAW, but on my I run on my but I run my MPC and gear into it. I love Reasons. I every once in a while I pull it out and I always make something incredible on Reasons. Yeah, Sean, I got both of those. You still got your 60, Sean? Rajman said I made over 200 beats with the game. Yeah, a lot of cats did. That was the intro. Really, if you think about it, PlayStation was the first ones to introduce that before they had that stuff on the apps and the phones. See what Chad O'World said? He said, right, because my card only supported 32 MIDI tracks. Right. Oh, reason sounds are ridiculous. Now, Chad O, some keyboards had 16 channel Plithny, some had 32, but in most of the most expensive keyboards had a 32 channel Plithny, right? But most of them only had 16. Most of the keyboards and modules, unless you paid extra for that, that nice keyboard that had it. And then you had to know how to turn each keyboard MIDI channel off so that it didn't conflict with the other stuff. Rashman say never read the introductions. I learned it. Yeah, because you know what? It's something about just diving into the machine. Rashmir, it's something about just diving into it. D said the first PCI audio card was 16-bit made by a company called MIDI Man. I had that one. D, I had that one. I had that one. Hey, and let me tell you guys something. So I get a call yesterday from a producer from Marva King, the legendary Marva King, and she was in the studio working with this producer, who was a writer and producer for P Diddy's company, right? And so she's here in Vegas recording, and I guess he couldn't figure out how to get his audio. He was having a lot of latency with his audio card, right? And with his computer. And so she called me because she knows that I know all about it. And so I'm listening to how he's running. He was using Ableton. So I said, well, what is your buffer size? What are you using? I said, you should change your buffer size differently for recording and then change it again for playback. I'm telling them, unless you keep it somewhere in the middle, right? But I said, typically you want to change it. So he told me his buffer size. I told him, okay, you need to bring that up a little bit for this and then take that down. And I said, let me see what bit rate you're recording now. I said, create a new session. And I said, don't be afraid to record in 16-bit. Now, a lot of guys like doing the 48. A lot of guys like doing the 48. Um, they like doing the 48K bit rate, right? Um, which is CD quality. Now work with me. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of game from Stone. Oh yeah, cat get down on Reason. Steve RC, have you ever made a beat with organ instead of piano? I have, Stephen. I've used the organ to make tracks. Sean said you got to learn that track. He said, yeah, you got to learn that joint. D said, dude, I absolutely love Reasons 13. Dope as hell. Yeah, Reasons in general is the shiznick. Jam and Joe say, true smooth sax. What's up? Jam and Joe, what's happening, family? That's one of the coldest saxophonists. Jam Joe got a song with Steve Sanders that's out right now. You guys go and stream it on Spotify. And Steve Sanders, the legendary house producer Steve Sanders, featuring Jam and Joe on saxophone. Matter of fact, I got a record that Jam and Joe and I did together that he's going to be releasing as a single, and it's off the hook. So you've seen Jam and Joe in the studio with me on his saxophone. He's a incredible saxophonist. Alex say, you use Magic? What do you mean? Jaco said, good evening, Jaco. Hit that thumbs up. Now I forgot what I was saying. Uh, okay, so most guys like using 48-bit when they record. I don't. 48-bit eats up a lot of hard drive space. So I say to this guy, when I get on the phone with him, Marva puts me on the phone, I say, listen, are you recording in 48-bit? He said, I don't really know. I said, let me see your computer. So he pulls it up, Ableton. I said, change that to 16-bit. Your latency is gonna disappear, and then change your buffer size. So when he did it, I said, now test the vocals. And he tested the vocals and he said, oh, it's not, everything's working. There's no latency now. I said, there you go. Because when you record 48K, if your computer is not, if you don't have enough RAM, it's going to lag. It's going to lag because 48-bit, I'm sorry, takes up a lot of hard drive space when you're recording vocals. And if you're doing R&B and you're doing 48-bit, and every vocal track in the music track, it's gonna eat up crazy space. Now, why do I say record 16-bit? First of all, let's say this. Alex said, yeah, oh, Magic. Okay, I remember that one, Alex. I remember Magic. I never really messed with it, but I remember it. Well, D, here's the thing. 48 has quality, but it's too crispy. And I'm sharing some game with y'all. It's too crispy. It's too thin for me. 16-bit is warm. Y'all got to trust me on this. Listen to any of my records. I've never recorded 40. I always record 16-bit because it's warmer. There's more texture in that bit rate. And why record 48 and then your CD quality is gonna be mastered and close to that bit rate anyway. So why go that and then it's gonna be extra crispy on the ears? Like it's crazy, right? And if you ain't good at mixing, and you're gonna be in trouble because it's gonna might be triple extra crispy. Rasmus said, especially wave, it take up. Yeah. Well, everything is wave though. When you're recording in a DAW, everything is wave. So that's why I'm saying recording a 48-bit is gonna eat up your hard drive space and it's gonna create latency. Unless you got a computer where you want it running 256 of RAM and a terabyte or 2 terabyte, you good then. But I still wouldn't record in 48K. I don't know. I don't even know who you're talking about. Who is Who's LeVar Burton? I don't have a brother named LeVar Burton. Who told you that? Who is that? Hold on. I don't know who LeVar. I think I got a subscriber named LeVar Burton, but I don't have a brother named LeVar Burton. They were asking me a question. Don't block that person, Mystique. You can take the comment off, but they were asking me a question. Why did the LeVar say I'm his brother? D say, man, put his saturation plug in on it, bro. Nah, D. I'm sorry, D. I got love for you, D. Not the same thing. Run that motherfucker through some real saturation. Outboard gear. Saturation plugins are cool, but I use two plugins. when I'm mixing. Everything else is ran through the SSL. But if all you got to work with is a saturation plugin, then by all means, you got to use what you have to use. Just use it well. I'm not opposed to using a saturation plugin. If that's all I had, I'm gonna use it and make you feel like it's being saturated through real analog. You're probably not gonna know the difference because I know how to get it. But let me tell you something. A saturation plugin is still not gonna make it sound like that 16-bit because you're already at 16-bit. The plugin is only gonna mimic what the bit rate is. It can't. It can't really. You get what I'm saying? It can make it dirtier, but it can't mimic the bit rate. Alex say I run off of a Mac. Macs are great. Hey, somebody asked me a question. Mystique, you didn't block that person. Let's talk about LeVar. He was talking about one of the people that come on this channel. So I needed to know what he was talking about. Y'all blocked him before I could get an answer. You didn't block him, did you, Mystique? Please tell me you didn't block him. John 415, what's up, family? Hit that thumbs up. We do a music review. We do. You have to send the music to Brand Artist Coalition, pay your cash app fee of $20 and send it, and probably do the next music review. I'll probably do it tomorrow. If you want to be included, that's the order. My moderators will put the cash app on here in the email to send it to you. So you have to pay the cash app, then you send the track in. That's the order you do it in. Troll World say, do you listen? Yes, I do, Troll World. Troll World. So if you're interested, let me know. My moderators will put the information in the bottom. Steve R said, what's my favorite type of music to make beats for? Wow. That's a good question. I really like being challenged. I really like making music for jazz. Um, Funk is not necessarily easy. People think funk music is easy. It's not. It's not easy because if you don't understand the logistics of funk, you just trying to mimic it instead of you doing it. So funk, jazz, in that order: funk, jazz, and R&B. Because making great R&B is not easy as well. But that funk, if you don't know how to do it, you don't get it. You're never gonna get it. Pop. Alex said, I've been making pop lately. Yeah, pop is easy because you can stumble on pop. You hear what D said? Hell no, funk is an art. He's 100% correct. Me being a former member of the Rick James Stone City Band, I will tell you, funk is an art and it's not easy. Go listen to some of my funk joints. I didn't stumble up and come up with those. Sean say, we musicians up in here. That's right, brother Sean. Tro World say, P-Funk is the best, bro. And R&B, I love the instrumentals. Tro World, you're right. Tro World, if you go watch my video, Happy People, my music video on my channel, I got two of the P-Funk All-Star members, my music director, Lonnie Motley, and Gene Anderson, a.k.a. Poo Poo Man from the Parliament. They're both from the Parliament, Funkadelic, and they're P-Funk All-Stars in my video. So my whole circle is nothing but P-Funk guys. Bootsy Collins, you know what I'm saying? All them. As a matter of fact, Teddy Riley messaged me probably about 4 months ago, and he said, Brother Stone, um, he say, me, Eddie Griffin, he say Eddie Griffin's wants to put together a funk band, and I told him about you. He say, so to be you, him, and then my boy Prophecy. He say you, Prophecy, and him putting the band together. So be you, him, and Prophecy, and then I'll come in sometime and it'll be a funk band. He said, and I thought about you, and I told them about you, Brother Stone. So when Teddy Riley called me and said that, he set up the meeting. I went over there, met with Prophecy and them, and the concept is crazy. Once that manifests and presents itself, it's going to be crazy. Me, Eddie Griffin, imagine. Me, Eddie Griffin, my boy Prophecy, he's incredible, and Teddy Riley in a funk band. Picture that, because it's going down. It's already in play. John 415 say, do you use James Brown theory on the one? I do. Everything, if you listen to what I say, I always say on the one. Everything I do. Brother Alex say, you've been around. Sean say, for real. John Taylor say, and with Stone, you had a good, he say, hey, with Stone, you had a good weeding, my boy. Thank you, John Taylor. I appreciate you, family. Brother Alex said it's a blessing to talk to you. Brother Alex, thank you, fam. You know, one step at a time, right? This new album I'm putting out is incredible. My personal album, right? It's amazing. Not just I'm not just talking about the hip hop, but I'm talking about now separate from the hip hop. My personal album is incredible. When it comes out, you guys will be like, "Wow, Stone, that's smashing, that's smashing." D said, "What do you think about KRK monitors?" D, I'm gonna show you what I think about KRK monitors. I'm gonna show you now. You know, you got the professional KRKs, right? And you got the consumer ones. You know that, right? I'm gonna show you what I think about KRKs. Here we go. Okay, you ready? This is the B room. What's that? KRK B series. Now, these are the sixes, but these, when I tell you these monitors hit, these monitors smash, bro. Now, let's do something creative. Want to see what I think about KRK? The B series, though, the Pro series. Those are the eights. And they smash, man. What do I think about KRKs? Hold on. I'm going to show you. I absolutely love KRKs. Well, let's get into it. What's that? Like, listen, let me tell you something about KRKs. And I got the focals as well. I got those focals right there. The focals are, that's what I was playing last night when I was doing pack heat, the focals. Those focals hit. I mean, the focals are accurate. So Meech was in the studio. Him and I was in the studio, right? And Meech said, man, we went out to the car and listened to the mix of that single, um, the rough version of it, right? Before it was even mixed. It was just the rough version. He said, man, he said, the B room, he said, Stone, the B room sound good. Now, this is what Meech said. Now, you got to remember, my boy Meech has worked in some of the top rooms in the world as a producer, right? Some of the top studio engineering rooms in the world. Meech say, Stone, that B room sound as good as Larry Sunset Sound. He was naming all the rooms, right? He say, man, it sounds so good in here. I say, I know, Meech. He said, man, I'm just tripping on how it sounds in here. He said, it sounds tight. Everything is very tight in here. I said, yeah. I said, that's why I love mixing in the B room as opposed to, because the A room is real open. It's wide open, right? And it's not bad. The mixes in the A room still sound great. But the B room is smaller. It's more intimate. And the mixes in the B room just, I mean, probably 90% of my records I've mixed in the B room. Yeah. Because I just love the sound of smaller rooms. And plus, you have less throw on the bottom end. So when you're mixing a smaller room, you don't have to worry about the bass bouncing around because from front to back, you have less throw. So that means you're going to have more controlled bass. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to have the issues with the bottom end. Brasmere says, Stone, have you ever heard of Adrian Young? I know Adrian Young here in Vegas, I think. Other than that, no, outside of Vegas, I don't. Hey, Tro World said, yep, Happy People, my new. He just went and checked out my Happy People song. So the guy on the bass, Tro World, and the guy on the guitar, jump around. The guy on the guitar is Poo Poo Man, aka Gene Anderson from the Parliament. The one on the bass is Lonnie Motley from the Parliament P Funk All Stars. Classic Camp folks say heard. What up, Classic Kinfolk? Hit that thumbs up as you come into the live. I appreciate you, family. Yeah, man. I mean, the KRKs, I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was to recommend monitors, just the regular KRKs, the consumer ones are still nice. It's just that the V series have a little bit extra, that little bit extra thing to it. And then so when I'm working on the MPC, I use JBLs because I can really bump them JBLs and I don't have to tear up my regular speakers. So when I'm working on the MPC, I got these JBL monitors and I crank them. I use my audio interface is the UAD. I got 4 different UADs with the pre's on it. And then I'm running that through all my SSL X rack and X desk, and then it's hitting the SSLG, the real SSLG compressor. So in the A room and B room, I have the SSL stuff. Classic Ken folks say, Don Dot, I appreciate you, Classic Ken folk. Yeah, man, listen. As an artist, and we get back on that too. We're gonna talk about. I know Cherry. I don't know if Cherry's still here, but she asked me a question about how to survive in the music industry, staying alive as a major artist or artist that's tied into a major company. Don't make no deals you're gonna regret later. Don't sign no deals that you got to look over your back about. That's like if people are asking me like she's asking me, that's what I'm gonna say. Because everything I know about the business and all the meetings I've had with any celebrity that has asked me to partake in helping them solve their issues has always been because they've locked down a weird deal that now it's affecting their future and they're trying to figure out how to get out of it or to change it. D said the Mode 2 Audi. Man, Mode, let me tell you something. Mode 2. Mode 2 has some special stuff going on. Mode 2 sounded like tape. And that's what they were really pushing back then. Mode 2 sounded like analog. Troll World said, I love music too. You'll be in my lineup. Thank you. Hey, Troll World, I appreciate you, family. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. I might do that music review tomorrow. This evening, I'm going to be mixing that record called Compton. It's going to be the first single off the compilation that I'm putting out. I got artists from all over the world. It's the West Coast Hip Hop Volume 1 compilation. They don't have to be from the West Coast per se. You know what I mean? But the tracks are mostly going to be like West Coast. Alex say, yeah. Oh, did something just fall out my nose? I'm sorry. I don't know what it was, but I think I just had a boogie woogie fall out of my nose. Y'all excuse me if y'all saw that. Uh, Alex said, yeah, I signed and didn't go. Who did you sign with, Alex? Was it independent or major? Rajmir said he's a producer that makes music like 70s funk. He did the soundtrack for Black Dynamite movie and Ghostface Killer albums. Check him out. Hey, okay. Yeah, I'll check him out when I get a chance. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Do you know him? Or are you just sharing that with me, Rajmir? Because if he's in the U.S., I'm sure I got people that know him in my circle. Troll World said, yes, sir. And if you and I'll be cashing out so you can hear some of my tracks. Troll World, did you get the Cash App in the email? Cause we'll do the music review tomorrow. DDB Eden said, when I record on Mo2, yeah, Mo2 was known for that. Connor say, damn, he got the silk dragon rope. Hey, Kahana, I came to Hawaii yesterday and I grabbed it and I flew back. Kahana, so fun. That's my boy right there, man. Alex Wiggins say just for beats. It's not just for beats, Alex. It's for beats and also for songs. So we're doing a music review tomorrow. So it's for songs and beats. So it's songs and beats. Doesn't matter what style it is. If you guys are gonna do it, you probably want to get your music in the queue today. So cash at me today, send the music to Brand Artist Coalition so I have you in the queue. But in that order, cash app, $20, and then email me and let me know you cash app, and then you're in the queue. Show World say typo, sorry, and no, I didn't. Okay, let me have my moderators put in it. Mystique, Cece, can you guys put the cash app, put my Brand Artist Coalition email first? I mean, the cash app first, then my Brand Artist Coalition email so that they can send it. Okay, there's the cash app right there at the bottom. And then they're going to send the email. There's the email above the cash app. So the email is above the cash app, you guys. It's right there. You guys see that? Look at the top of the screen is the cash app. When you do the cash app, and then the email, Brand Artist Coalition CEO, is at the bottom. Okay? You want to be in the queue. You don't want to wait till tomorrow. Then you saying, oh, check your inbox, Stone. I send a track, and then I got to get off my live and try to check my ins. That's a headache. You want to do everything, get it in the queue today, get it ready for tomorrow. That is $20 per beat. So you know, you can't send me 10 beats for $20. Wolfhampton said, what's the most popular song you have produced? Listen, I you got to remember I was a part of a production company called Grand Jury Entertainment. So we did Brian Adams, Ginger Spice, we did Teddy Riley and Blackstreet Girlfriend Boyfriend remix. We did the Rugrats remix, Grand Jury Entertainment. We did um, Kirk Franklin Stomp. We did tons of people. So I was part of that production company. So the list is long. We did Rome's album, Silky Fine. Didi said a lot of recording studios are closing because you can now get the same results from home. Well, Didi, let me tell you something crazy. Even back in the 80s and 90s, only 1% of the general public even used recording studios. Think about this, you guys. Only 1% of the general public used recording studios back in the 80s and 90s. Now, let's go into now, right? The 20th, 20th century, right? How many people you think are using? That's less than one half of 1%, and way less than that, like 0.01%, because everybody's got computers. And you can get this, and all the studios are using some of the same gear that a lot of people are using in their homes as far as like audio inputs. The only difference the studios have is they have some of that real solid analog gear to really get it sounding like some really big records. But if you're a good producer and engineer, you can I can come to your house and do a whole album in your garage, and bring my laptop and my UAD, and you wouldn't know the difference because I know how to cut records and I know how to mix. So you're right. Alex say I work from home. Kahana say yes. Most producers have. Yeah. Um. Here, most people have home studios and they putting out garbage though. I'm just saying, or they're not putting out enough. Or they're trying to use the stupid AI stuff for the shortcuts. So what good is it to have equipment anyway if you ain't putting records out? You look going down in there looking at it every day like, there go my studio, ain't putting no records out. That's not impressive to me. You just got equipment, it's taking up space and collecting dirt. J Bond say facts. Hit the like as you're coming across this live, you guys. Do me a favor and hit that like, please. You don't have to know me to hit the like. Just hit that like. Hit the like. You know what I'm saying? We do vibing to good energy. This is about music. And why most artists don't make it. You don't have to go to the studio anymore. You can AI your voice. It's whack. Yeah, and man, let me tell you something. One of my subscribers, he's a cool guy, so I'm not gonna get on here and really, go in too hard on him. He's really a good guy. but he really believes in this AI, and he sent me a video the other day trying to sell me on AI, and I laughed. I was like, I don't want to insult him, but he's like, yo, Stone, check out. And I said, nice. I just said nice out of respect, like, oh, that's nice. But in the back of my mind, I was like, man, that video is horrible. It's horrible. I've seen some good AI videos. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some, and I've been like, wow, that's crazy. But the ones he sent me, it was like this. And then he actually said to me, if you got any artists that need videos, Stone, send them to me. No, I will not be sending nobody to you. Unless you have AI videos that's looking very quality, I won't be sending nobody to you. Because why? If they look like the video you sent me, man, that was Tinker Toy stuff. The video was basically stock footage, and it was corny stock footage. It wasn't even no real solid stock footage. And he wasn't even in the video. So I'm like, bro, come. But I try to support him. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. But I'm not with that AI. And he was like, oh, it'd be cool if you have a conversation on your channel about AI. I said, bro, I've been talking about AI on my channel. Where you been? P, what's happening, family? P, hit that thumbs up. Hampton said, what's my favorite song of all times? Stay by Sly Stone. That's one of my favorite songs because I love that bass sound. Dum 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 bum 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 bum. And so what I did, if you go listen to my album In the Key of Love, I got a song called Karma, right? I use that same, not same key, but I played that same arrangement in Karma. The dun 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 dun. Not that same one, but something similar. Because I was inspired by that Sly Stone song. That's one of my favorite songs. Stay. Yeah, I love that song. So how and why do independent artists don't make it? Why don't they make it? Why most independent artists are probably not going to make it? It's going to be based on how hard they work, man. I mean, once again, people like shortcuts, man. Because of video games, it has allowed people to feel like everything has a cheat code. Unfortunately, video games have made people feel like there's a cheat code to the music industry too. And they feel like that cheat code now is AI. But it's not going to go down like that. It's not going to be that easy like that. So yeah, you might feel like it's a cheat code, but you ain't gonna be able to use it like you really want to use it, and it's not gonna make you better. Cherry piece of Haystone. There seems to be a cyber issue. A lot of business systems are down. Include, yeah, I saw that. Not just Amazon, Tubi, acts weird. A lot of the internet, a lot of those internet television networks that are connected through Amazon are also having issues when you go load them up. It's lagging or it doesn't load right up. Yeah, I was reading that this morning. Rasmere, yeah, that's a great song. Yeah, Cherry, I was reading that this morning too. Alex said I didn't like music at first. 21, I took band. Oh, you took band? What year? Okay, you took band when you were younger? Because I was in band from elementary throughout college. You say at first, until you took. How old were you when you were in band? Middle school? I started in band in elementary. I started playing drums. Oh, Alex, when did you start in band? I started playing drums at 6. I was in band in elementary throughout college. All my whole life was band, jazz band. Yeah, Cherry, I saw it and it's crazy. It's crazy, Cherry. Hey, Cherry, there was something weird going on even on YouTube. The last probably week or so. It was strange stuff happening on YouTube. High school, okay. Yeah, Alex, I'm a band geek. Elementary throughout college. Band geek right here. First chair drummer. Da, 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 da. There's something special about being a musician. Something special about it, y'all. Boss lady said, please, yeah, smash that like button as you're coming into the live, you guys. So independent artists that are trying to be successful and make it. What is the key to making it as a independent artist? Alex said, that's why you call. Brother Alex, thank you, family. Yeah, I contribute my solid production and music skills to music theory and being in band and playing in church. Y'all got to understand, I was a 6-year-old kid sitting on the drum set in the church, barely could reach my feet on the pedal. I would scoot at the edge of the seat. At 6. There's no joke. It's for real. That was 1976. 1976, I was on the drum set playing in church at 6. And they let me play. I just somehow knew how to play. I don't even know how. Alex, I make about, on a day where I'm not extremely busy with meetings, about 20 a day. On a day where I'm busy with meetings, about 10 a day. Like I got some meetings today. So today it'll be 10 today. And then I got to mix that record. So imagine being 6 years old and your whole world is music. My whole world was music. And then at around 10 or 11, it was music and martial arts. And the rest of my life, music and martial arts. But 6 years old on a drum set, barely reaching the pedal, I had to scoot forward. So when I see these little 6-year-olds playing drums, that was me. I love it. Wolverhampton said, my friend is a very good drummer. He just performed Welcome to the Jungle. Okay. He played that live with some guys. Connor said, yes, music theory helped big time. Knowing how to change keys without thinking about it is so helpful. Yes, it is. It just helps you be, if you are an artist, a singer, rapper, no matter what, it just makes you, it turns you into a superhero in that sector. And the sky's the limit. The way you think, the way you write. That's the reason I hear like sevens and ninths. If you listen to my music, people say, oh, your music remind me of Music Soul Child or this. And I'm like, man, I've been doing this shit before there was a music. Or they'll say, your harmonies remind me of like a D'Angelo. I've been doing it before there was a D'Angelo. Rasmus say, is it true that you will not get a Grammy unless you sign to a major record label? No, that's a lie. Alex say you started early. You don't have to be signed to a major to get a Grammy. Now, let me tell you something. I have had 3 albums that have been considered, no, two albums and a single been considered for a Grammy. I didn't win, but even to get the considerations is big. It's political, you guys. The Grammy is more about politics than anything. But if you remember, there's a rock band called Steely Dan. They went almost 40 years without getting a Grammy and finally got one. So this is my theory. For all the artists that are chasing Grammys, because I know artists that be chasing Grammys, they don't care. They just want a Grammy because they feel like the Grammy is going to change something for them. But and then I said, well, how many records have you sold? And they don't necessarily base it on how many records you sold, but they do look at your history and how consistent you've been. I know this one particular girl. She's trying her hardest to get a Grammy. She's gotten tons of independent awards, right? And she's like obsessed with trying to get a Grammy. And I'm like, you haven't even put no official work in the music industry, and you think that you supposed to surpass all of the artists that have busted their butt to be in this business, and then the universe supposed to just give you a Grammy because you sing, and there's tons of females that sing better than you or just as good as you, and you think that means you should get a Grammy. Alex said, I'm doing my wife album. Oh, I can't wait to hear it, Alex. Brother Alex, let it go, fam. Don't even hold on to it. So for people to think that they're just gonna submit the record and get a Grammy, Kahana said my favorite song is Fire Desire by Rick James and Tina. Every time we perform that song, the Rick James Stone City Band, when I was with the band, every time we perform that song, it's always incredible. You hear what I'm saying? Every time we perform that song, it's always incredible. Live. I think you told me that the last time before, Rajmir. No, I didn't do that song. I was just with the Rick James Stone City Band. I was a member. I used to be a member. But every time we perform that song live, you could feel the spirit of Rick on the stage. I kid you not. Man, the lights would be down on stage. Yeah, it was. The lights would be down on stage, man. The audience is tapped in, you guys. The light is down, the purple light is and the pink light is flashing to the stage. We're back there, the vocalists, we're back there. And there is a spirit that happens on stage. I ain't even making this up. It's like Rick, you can feel his presence on stage. I'm not even making it up. Like if the fellas were here right now, sitting next to me, they would tell you the same thing. I always, Alex, the fellas still come over. There's videos of them coming here, hanging out in the studio with me, because I'm still producing their records. Yeah, I'm still. Let me see. I'm still producing a lot of the records. Let me see if I can find. Hold on, find something real quick. Look, you see my name on there. Look, Funky Reggae. I produced that song, but look at the names you see: Rick James, Stone Paxton, and you see Landis Hughes, Levi Ruffin, Nate Hughes. You see that? You can't see the whole thing, but you see the song Funky Reggae and then Stone City Band right there. And you see Rick James, the song's Funky Reggae. You see my name, Stone Paxton, right there. Hold on, where's my name? Right here. And you see the rest of the band's name right there. Y'all see? I produced that Funky Reggae song. I reproduced it. Sorry. See, one thing you'll learn about me, I'll never get on this channel and cap. My channel ain't about capping. Everything is all facts when I talk. Oh man, Tina was. Now we did have a girl that can blow like her. Like, yeah, 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 you guys. Yeah. So I'm in the studio every day. Like, if you haven't heard any of my albums, go follow me on Spotify. Listen to my R&B albums, my funk stuff. It's all good stuff, man. It's all good energy. Jay Bond say I'll be mad as hell when Stone ain't streaming. Look, Jay, I try to stay locked in, Jay. Y'all understand? Let me tell y'all something. Do you understand what it feels like to be a part of legendary situations? Not just one. I've been privy to multiple, over a dozen of legendary situations in my life, and I'm still young. That's why when people look at me, they're like, "Man, that young dude." But I'm an older guy, but I still feel young. But I've been involved with so many legendary situations where when I speak, it's hard for people to believe the stories. But then I have all the back, what they say, the receipts, because everybody in the industry know me, so I don't have to pretend like my stories are real. They know they are. So even when I look at this funky reggae song, I see Rick's name and then my name next to Rick's and Nate and Landis and Levi. That's legendary, y'all, to me. Do you understand? You don't get to be involved with no situations like that unless you have put in the work. Razmir say in the 90s, almost every rapper had a reggae song on their album. They sure did. Nobody does it anymore like that. I have paid my dues for 1,000 times over, and I'm still doing it. Every day I'm still doing it. I'm creating new opportunity for artists. At the same time, when I create new opportunity for artists, I'm creating a new opportunity for Stone Paxton. So I'm helping them, but I'm also helping myself, keeping my name relevant in the music sector. Because you're only as relevant as your last release you produced or you put out. So I stay relevant. I'm constantly dropping records. The records are constantly charting. I have, at least right now, I have about 30 records that I got to get plaques for my wall. 30 more records that have charted the last 2 years. Every time I look up, there's a new song that is charted. Alex, when you get lazy, that's when you got to get up. That's when you got to be like, you know what? Let me get up. Because all that is that's those dark energies trying to stop you from being successful. Because that means you're great. When you get lazy, that means you're really good. And those dark energies want to stop you from moving forward. So that's when you got to break the mold and get up and say, let me write a record today. Let me do something. Let me write a song today. Kahana said, I watched Gladys Knight sing live with my acoustic, with only an acoustic guitar. Oh my God. Mind blowing. So good. I know Miss Gladys. My buddy, Steve Biscuit, aka Biscuit, is her manager. And if you don't know who Biscuit is, when I was young, I was in this group. I'm gonna show you the group I was in back in the day, in the 80s. We were signed to the New Kids on the Block management. Biscuit was on tour. Biscuit was all of our bodyguard, the New Kids on the Block, and all of us. But this is the group I used to be in back in the day. First of all, that's Marva King. She played Helen in The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. She also, from Prince New Power Generation, she played Helen in Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Okay. And I produced a song on her record. Okay. And that's me back in the day. That's the group I was in back in the day. Y'all see that? They say with a note and an envelope and a letter saying, bring me a hit. That's where it all started. Back in the day, right there. That's your boy, Mr. Paxton. That's me right there. Hey, I still think I look kind of young, y'all. I don't know. I still think I look the same. But that's where it all started, you guys. One of the, first record deals that I had, right? So it all started there. Well, actually, that wasn't the first, because the first record deal I had, I think, 13. It was an independent record label. And then we ended up getting that deal with Dick Scott Entertainment. We was on tour with the New Kids on the Block and Marky Mark, and we were all signed. Perfect Gentlemen. They had us, Perfect Gentlemen, Rick West, um, Tiffany, Brenda K. Starr. They managed Ready for the World, Dougie Fresh. Yeah. Cherry P say, you are young. On that picture I was, Cherry. Johnny Black say, 67. You still young, brother Johnny. Hey, Major say, I'm proud of you, bro. Everything you've accomplished, all of this inspires me. Yeah, let's go. Hey, Major, come on, man. Connor say, still looking dapper, my brother. Thank you, brother Kahana. I appreciate you. How many charting records I have? I have over 80. Now, check this out. I have over 87 independent charting records, over 87 independently. iTunes top 5, top 100, um, UK top 5. I've had over a dozen charting records in the UK. Um, oh man, it's just a lot, you guys. It's a lot, man. And then that's not even counting me working for Grand Jury Warner Brothers. Like if I count the records I was involved with that's charted, it's probably another 30 or 40 records of me being a part of the production team of records that have charted. So altogether, let's say my whole career between my independent stuff and the major stuff, maybe over, maybe close to 100 charting records that I was involved with, from my independent stuff to the stuff when I was signed to a major as a writer producer, the production company. Rasmus say, do you get writer's block? Then all of a sudden you can write a whole album out of the blue. It's weird. Rajmir, with me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe in writer's block. I'm gonna tell you why. I used to be scared. Like if I was gonna wake up in the morning tomorrow and I wasn't gonna be able to write a song, right? Then I realized, why am I putting the focus in something that God has given us the gift of, right? I'm like, why am I freaking out about writing a song when I've been doing it all my life? Then I realized, Rasmir, I said, wait a minute. The real key to not having writer's block is just not thinking about it. The real key is just going, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna get at the piano. Like I got a piano that I keep over here, right? And I keep this piano here so that when I wanna write my ideas, I can sit here in the living room and just create my ideas, right? It's my piano right here in the living room. I could just sit here and just create right here without being in the studio. Now, this guitar was given to me by BB King's daughter. This came out of BB King's house. This is actually, I know this is random, but this guitar was on BB King's wall. And his daughter, which is like my mom, she gave this to me. They only made two of these. One for this was made for BB King, and the other one is in the BB King Blues Club in Memphis. Anyway, so I get here on the piano and I create my ideas, right? Thing about this is you should never, ideas don't dry up. They don't. Because once you put focus on writer's block, then you're gonna have writer's block. You're gonna have writer's block then because you're putting too much focus on a writer's block when you should just focus on being a writer and letting it just come natural. Like don't focus on writer's block. Just focus on creating great music, right? Because trust me, soon as you start going, I got a writer's block, I promise you, you're not gonna be able to write nothing. So what I've learned is, in not having a writer's block, how do I do it? I don't think about it. I don't think about it. I don't. I get on the piano, I get on my laptop or the MPC and I start creating. And I let the melodies move me. I let the melodies create an idea for a song. I don't worry about what am I going to talk about. The melody will drive me, or a conversation that I might have had with you, a friend on the phone. You might have shared with me what you're going through in your relationship, and all of a sudden that sparked my idea for the song, right? So I don't believe in writer's block. I'm gonna tell you why. That's like saying that our brains don't work. When we wake up in the morning, we're thinking about bills, our mom, our wife, our girlfriend, our neighbors. Our brain is not blocked. So we shouldn't get writer's block because our brain is not blocked. You get what I'm saying? So there shouldn't be no such thing as a writer's block because your mind is always working. You just got to accept it and not worry about it and just let it organically happen. But there used to be a time that I honestly would be scared because I would hear other people saying, I got a writer's block. I can't think of nothing. I'd be like, man, I ain't trying to. I felt like what they were telling me was spilling off into my, cerebral cortex, and I didn't want it to happen, right? So I was like, well, man, why are you worried about writer's block? Oh, I can't think. I can't write no songs. So I said, bro, like, then it started kind of bother me a little bit. And I would get in the studio and be like, dang, I kind of feel like I'm having writer's block. And I started to get scared because I said, what if I wake up tomorrow and I can't write a song? I started telling myself weird stuff like that. And then I shook it off. I said, wait a minute, man, this is weird. What? There is no such thing as a writer's block. It might be a time where you don't feel inspired to write, but it's never going to be a writer's block because there's so much to talk about. Think about it. Think about a conversation with your friend. There's always something you can find to talk about, unless you just don't know how to talk to people. So with me, I said, tap into that. I might write a song. You might call me. You might be my friend and call me, and you tell me, man, I'm going through with my family, man. Me and my wife going through, or my cousin and I going through. You don't know it. I get off the phone. You just sparked the idea. As I'm on the piano, now I'm hearing an idea for a song because something you said sparked the idea in my head. And now that turns into a song. I got this song called Content. And I can't, somebody called me. It's a Valentine's Day song. You guys go listen to it. Somebody called me and they were having a conversation with me about relationship, right? And they were like, oh, I can't remember who it was, honestly. And they were like, I just feel like my relationship is, I'm always at war with my girl, and I can't even remember who it was. And I was like, and I started thinking how relationships are like going to war, because every day is a different battle, and you don't know if the battle is going to be uh, a steady win, or if the battle is going to be victorious, or if you're going to be able to flank that opponent into maybe not wanting to battle with you. So as in, in military, you flank, you going you maybe going at an angle instead of going straight at them, right? With your opponent. And so you're not going straight heads up. You going at an angle to go around them to try to get to them, right? And you got soldiers going this way and that way, and you're trying to flank them, to surround them, right? And I start thinking about how relationships are like war and similarities, right? Because it can be really good or it can be really bad. And I came up with this song called Content, and the battle of a relationship, right? And how a man can love a woman and how a woman can love a man. And I didn't want it to be so much about the battle of that relationship, but I wanted to use a word in there that I heard my friends say about the war. And instead, I wrote a song that, I don't know if you guys heard it, but if you haven't, go listen to it. It's called Content. I'm in a red suit, but um, I talked about like going to war for her, right? Like how a relationship is like a battle. Like I'm going up to war for her to fight for what I believe in, love. And the song is beautiful, but it was inspired by a conversation. So there is no, my point in saying there's no writer's block. So don't ever start saying, man, I got a writer's block. I can't write no records, man. I don't know Stone. I just, I just, I'm stuck. When you do that, you're going to be stuck. When you do that, you're not going to be able to write a song. I'm telling you what I know. You're not. When you do that, you're going to be stuck. Trust what I'm saying. You're going to be stuck because you've just already put yourself in a situation to where you've told yourself, I am having a writer's block. Shamir said, thank you for that, Stone. I'm going to check out. Oh, you're going to love the song. Shamir Jones, listen. Cherry P said, I'm going to go have a listen. Cherry, it's called Content. When you hit listen, okay, and I'm gonna tell you another reason I wrote this song. So as an OG, a lot of young dudes will hit me and say, OG Stone, man, I ain't hear you doing none of that R&B, like that real R&B, like, that young R&B stuff. I said, oh, you don't think I could do that? I mean, I hear you doing the funk and the neo soul and the soul, but I don't really hear you, I said, bro, doing that young R&B stuff is easy. That stuff easy. And that was another reason I did that song, Content. When you hear it, you'll see what I'm saying. It's got that young R&B vibe to it, but it's a beautiful song. It's beautiful, and that came from a conversation. And then, of course, this artist telling me, he hasn't heard me write a younger R&B vibe, and I'm like, man, forget it. Trust me. And then that conversation sparked the whole concept. Good morning, Chef Banner. Chef Banner in the house. Let's go hit the button. What's up, family? Hit that thumbs up, Chef Banner. Hit that thumbs up. Yo, trust me. Go listen to Content. While you're on the live with me, if you could just pull it up, listen real quick. So that way you can come back and be like, Stone, tell me what you think. Germany in the house. Kaisa Leah. Kaisa Leah, welcome into my channel. Thank you. You know what, Kaisa? I hope I'm saying it right. I've had a lot of people from Germany come into my channel. So, I tell everybody I love them because I'm a loving person. I tell everybody in my channel I love them. So I'm going to say to you, Ish Leavedish. You're going to say to me, Ish Dish Ow back, right? Kaisa Lee. I say that to everybody. I love everybody. And I had a few ladies from Germany that were trying to date me that flew all the way to America. I've already told that story. Kaisa, Leah, it's a crazy story. They never met me and they flew to Vegas. That's for another day. I have to share that story with you. But nice to meet you. Thank you for coming to the channel. I love having good people here. I'm a recording artist, Stone Paxton. My records are available on iTunes everywhere. Producer, actor, businessman, you name it. You know what I mean? I deal with a lot of cool people, but you just landed on a cool channel. Kaisa, you just landed. Hit that thumbs up too, Kaisa Leah. Hit that thumbs up for me. I appreciate you. I'm going to start using some of my German slang on some of these people that come in here and they're rude. I'm going to start using German words on them. I'm going to start my new word for people that come in here. I'm going to start calling them Doomcough. Kaisa know what that means. I'm gonna start calling them Doom. Here's another Doom cough. right, Kaiser. Like when they come in there rude and disrespectful to me, it's okay for me to call them Doom cough, right? Welcome in, Kaiser. Welcome to the channel. There should never be a real writer's block. It should never be. You're a writer. You're a writer. It should never be a block because life is not blocked from us. Things happen every day, right? Conversations, things at your job, family members, stuff you go through. So you should never, as a writer, have a writer's block. And when you say that, now you've created a writer's block because you put it in your head. There is no writer's block. There just is great things coming to you and ideas of writing great songs and movies and scripts and books. Kaisa, I often watch your streams without writing it. Oh, Kaisa Leah, thank you. I appreciate you for that. I really do. You got to come in and say hello, Kaisa, because I love all my people from all over the world. Listen, I got one big family. You're part of my family now, Kaisa. So when you come in, if you could just say hello, Stone, and you don't have to say nothing else if you don't want to, you're part of the family now. You're my German sister. It don't matter. I got German brothers, German sisters. I got family everywhere. Everybody that come into my live are my extended family members, and I will treat you as so. So welcome to the dinner table, Kaisa. Javon say the tongue was made to create the world around you. You create without also knowing at times your passion for something can never stop unless you make that choice to fail. Facts. Thank you, Javon. Rashmir says mind over matter. Cherry P say Stone, your song Content sounds just like Stokely. As if you both are relate. That's my cousin. I've told you guys on lives before. Maybe y'all don't know that. I just don't like going too deep with it because these women be getting a little cuckoo. That's why I don't really talk too much about it. These women be getting cuckoo. I've had some crazy situations happen, Cherry. School hit the button, say no negative thoughts as a creative. There you go. School hit the button, say don't put no negative thoughts out there. Don't put no negative thoughts. You put the negative thoughts out, what's going to happen? Rashmi says he's playing Content as we speak. It's dope, he said. Yeah, Cherry, that's my cousin. I just don't. I would have to talk to you on the phone. Let's just say it's been some crazy situations because women come into my live and they'll say some know, some don't, most don't, and they'll say stuff trying to figure shit out, right? And most of the time I don't say it, but you've said it several times, and you've been one of my solid subscribers, so I'm sharing that with you today. But yeah, so But that has nothing to do with the vocals. That's just vocals. Our tones are similar, you know. And that's just a coincidence that we sound similar. And we're only a few years apart. Clint Cheekman said, "Hi, what's up, Clint?" Kai Lisa said, "I often watch your streams to fall asleep in the evening. I love, oh, you guys listen to this. This is so sweet." Kaisa Leah said, she often watches my streams in the evening to go to sleep. My voice is soothing. Kaisa, were you the one that said on my live one time, your voice is soothing? So I love your voice. Thank you, Kaisa. Wow, that you make me feel special. Then you, Kaisa, should definitely be listening to my music on iTunes and Spotify for sure. You need to have me in your playlist so you can put me in rotation. Kaisa, I love that. I got to screenshot that. I screenshot that. That's awesome. I'm thinking about doing a coffee table book with all of the beautiful comments from my live that people actually say to me, and just a coffee table book with all those beautiful things that are said out of respect. Yusra Channel said, "Are you mixing too, or just producing me?" No, I mix too. I mix too. All the records that I produced on people in all of my records, I've mixed all those records in my B room here or the A room. I really like mixing here in the B room, but in the B room or the A room. Cherry P say, "Thank you for that." Oh, Cherry, no problem. People be trying to, Cherry, listen, you have no idea what I go through. One day you and I are gonna talk on the phone and you'll be like, "Dang, Stone." Squid the button say, "I am the best producer." Sorry, Dre. I am the best rapper. Sorry, Nas. Positive. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all hear what School hit the button say? You have to take pride in yourself and what you believe in yourself. What you put out into the universe is what manifests into a real reality. And because you're walking towards that reality, as you say it, you think it, you act towards it, it becomes a reality. I always tell people, if you want to manifest something, you can't just talk about it. You got to walk towards it. So if you believe you're not good, you start to act like you're not good, and you never become better, and you become not good because you're actually walking in that direction of not being good. You thought it and you put it into play, and now you manifested it into a real thing. It happens. So being a great writer, being a great producer is a combination of working towards it and believing it. And eventually those two combinations turn into something great, and it's undeniable. Yeah, so when you talk about being a producer and why producers can't make it, right? And why they don't make it, which is what my subject today was. Why don't producers make, I mean, why don't artists make, excuse me, artists and producers, why don't they make it? A lot of them do not end up making it because of the thought process. Yusra said, any tips, please, to mix vocals? It's really hard to get the vocal sounds right, especially on small speakers or phone speakers. That's exactly how I became the best. Classic Ken folks say that's how I became the best. Um, Yusra, this is what I'm going to say to you. I want you to go listen to my records. Go to Spotify, pull iTunes, pull up my albums, listen to my records, and listen to the vocals and how they're recorded. And then if you still want my advice, then I want you to consult with me so I can really help you. Me sitting on this live giving out knowledge that took me 42 years of gaining is not going to really help you. But what's going to help you is that one-on-one consulting session with me so I can really dig into deep and listen to your music and give you the advice by listening to it going, this is what I would do different. This is what you're doing wrong. This is how you need to tune your room up so that you can start to get better mixes, your room. It's stuff I can show you, but I'm not going to be able to do it on this live because that's not what this live is for. But I want to be able to help you. Okay, Brother John, I appreciate you. Razmir say, believe in yourself and don't worry about friends and family not supporting you. It's a billion people on this planet. Somebody will support you. Even at 1%. Think about 1% of a billion. Y'all think about this. It's like everybody on my YouTube channel that supports me. today. I'm going to show y'all about support. If people love you, they'll support you. That's how I know a lot of people just come to my channel just to see, hear a beat. Iran, blessings to you, Iran. What is that? Lalia, I hope I said that right. Lalia, blessings. Thank you for coming to the channel. Hit that thumbs up at the top for me, please. Welcome to the channel, Lalia. Hopefully you become a subscriber to the channel. Welcome and thank you so much. And I hope your family and everybody in your family is doing well. Hope you guys are healthy. And I hope that everything that you guys are wanting will continue to manifest and work in your favor. And we are praying for all of you guys everywhere, all over the world. We're sending love your way. Thank you. Hopefully you become a subscriber of my channel. Kaisa Leah say, I say good night until tomorrow. I'm listening. All right, Kaisa. Oh, sleep well, Kaisa. Blessings. It's Liberish. There's only one way to any success, and that's one road. Blinders on. Here we go. You don't look this way, that way. You just focus on the straight and narrow and become better, work harder, become better, invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge. Don't ask nobody to do nothing for free. Nobody. Don't ask nobody. Go get yours and earn it. Because paying your dues does add to your success. Because you're telling, see, think about this. When we take and ask people to do all the time, we're asking the universe, we're telling the universe we're takers. I'm going to show y'all something. You talk about manifesting. Y'all want to really know how it works? I'm a Buddhist, okay? I do this every day, right? So we talk about manifesting. This is how manifesting really works. You don't know you're manifesting even everything you do. So if you are a taker and all you do is take from people and you never give, you're telling the universe, and all the things in the universe are made up in our bodies, molecules and atoms. Our body's made up of all the things that are into the universe. So when you're a taker, you tell the universe you're a taker, and the universe will start taking from you. The laws of the universe. It doesn't see why it should give to you because you're a taker instead of a giver. You understand what I'm saying? Like all you do is take, and you don't, you don't see why you need to work towards something, but you want everybody to give, and you take what they give without helping yourself. So you can't be successful if you are a taker and you partake in the spirit of just being a person who just wants people to just do everything for you, and you don't want to do nothing for yourself. Nothing's going to happen. Truly, you got to be a giver in order to gain getting. It's just the cycle of the universe. It's a universal cycle. You cannot be a taker and expect. I just had somebody want me to do some BMI stuff. You cannot expect to be a successful person when all your life you've taken. Think about it. All of us have been guilty of people doing stuff for us, and we don't tell them, no, I don't need it, or no, don't, you've helped me enough. Sometimes we still be like this. Instead of saying, no, you've done enough. Let me do for you now. Let me give to you now. But then we say we're manifesting success. You can't manifest successful stuff when you're manifesting being a taker because all you've done is take. Y'all see how that works? Sam Walker says, hey, Stone, hope you had a blessed weekend. I'm looking to buy the Roland Aerophone Pro. I'm mainly a sax player, but play many other instruments fluently. Any experience with this instrument? I'll say get it. I'll say get it. I think I've talked to, I got a Jammin' Joe, my boy Jammin' Joe is on it. He's a saxophone player. He just got a feature with the legendary Steve Sanders. He's on here. But I think I've talked to Jammin' Joe about it because he plays saxophone. So I say get it because that's some new technology. Get it because I'm going to tell you why. Two reasons to get it. First of all, you're going to love it. Number one, I've seen it at the NAMM convention. Number two, the prices are going to go up on a lot of gear. So get it now and you'll have it. And you're not going to regret it. You're going to love it. Because you know you can connect that to the computer too, right? Abstract productions I've seen givers giver and end up with nothing. I want y'all to read what Abstract says. I've seen givers give and end up with nothing. Thank you for that, Abstract. Classic said on God. Rasmus said paying dues is an experience. Manifestations is some new age BS. It's not BS, but I get what you're saying. You create your reality through your thoughts and your actions. Now, the Bible says that out of the mouth, the tongue comes life or death. So if that's true, which we all believe in the Bible, then we know that. Now I agree with what my man said here, what Abstract said. I get Abstract's point. There's a passage in the Bible that says work without faith is void, right? It's non-existence. So what does that mean? Kind of like what I'm saying. Like you can sit around and be like, I'm gonna manifest that light to come on. Come on, light. Come on. I'm gonna manifest the light to turn off. I can sit there all day and try to use my psychic powers to turn that light off. But it's easier to get up and say, I thought about it, let me go turn it off. Or I get an app that's connected that turns it off. I manifested it, but I got up and made it happen. So you can manifest something, but if you're not, and I just had this conversation with a friend last week. I said it's okay to manifest, but you still got to work towards it. Because if not, you're gonna have a whole bunch of lazy people sitting around thinking they're just gonna manifest $1 million tomorrow in the bank. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you gotta work towards it too. That helps in the manifest process. You can manifest it, but you gotta go work towards it. And the manifestation does combine together with the working forward and making it happen. It does, right? It does. Abstract also said, I've seen a lot of people who are givers and they get, who said that? I've seen giver and end up with nothing. I agree, somewhat agree with that too. But it's okay because I'm one of those givers, Abstract. I've given and given. Here's a prime example. I get on my channel, look at all I get. You're right about that. People don't donate. If I have 80 people on there and they donated $1, that would be $80 towards my channel, me continuously doing what I'm doing for you guys, right? Today, I think I had one person donate. So you're right. I give a lot on my channel. I get a lot of information. People come here to get free information. They don't give back to Stone, but everybody wants information and the opportunity. So I have to agree with him on that because givers will give, and sometimes they get nothing. But in the end, we win. In the end, I win because I'm winning already. But if you want something to be given to you, you damn for sure better give an appreciation when people are giving to you. You better get back. Abstract said, yes, bro, that's how magic works. Yeah, because Abstract, look, when I come on here, I'm always like, this is crazy. I get in here, I pour my heart out, have deep conversations with people. And like I said, every once in a while, a few people, they'll donate. But if I have 1,100 people on here and they donated $1, 11,000 people, that's $11,000 to go to the channel for me to do more things to help artists. This is what people ain't looking at. Meanwhile, I'm already helping artists. So I agree with what Abstract says. He has a valid point. You give. That's the story of my life. I've given to so many artists, and I'm not gonna say I haven't gotten anything because I have gotten a lot of blessings eventually. But at that moment, I don't get nothing. Javon joined the membership today. I appreciate him doing it. Somebody else gave me a $5 donation. I appreciate them. I can't remember who it was, but there's people that respect and appreciate what I give. And I thank you for the donations and super chats. DJ says, hey, Stone. What's up, DJ Tony? We talking about artists and why a lot of artists don't ever make it. They're takers. I mean, Abstract just spit it. Abstract also talk about givers that give. I'm one of those givers that give. And then, listen, they are takers. So you wonder why a lot of artists don't make it? They're takers, and they don't realize they're taking and taking, that they're actually taking spiritually, taking from themselves. Javon said the Most High gave you a sense and limb so you can work towards what you want in life. I'm also also to a given until my last, and I get nothing back. But trust I remain blessed. Absolutely, Javon. Joseph say, "Damn deep combo today." Janet freestyle one. Oh, Janet, thank you. Janet just renewed a oh, Janet, and thank you for the $2 donation. Now this is what I'm talking about. Janet renewed her membership, and she gave a $2 donation. Now, do I get more? Absolutely, but I'm not worried about that. I just appreciate the fact that Janet says Stone gives all of his energy. Let me send him a $2 super chat. Do you know that if each of you guys thought about, y'all like my brothers on here, y'all go get y'all Black and Miles, roll up y'all. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? What's that? What's that? You ain't getting no knowledge out of that. You just getting a relaxation. But you come to my channel, I'm sending, I'm laying out game on all aspects, from music to the business to industry stuff. So $1, $2 donation to my channel for me to keep going and me keep giving you this, take out my time. I'm just saying, make it make sense. That's why I agree with, Abstract when he said, you give, and you know, they just keep taking. I agree with him on that. I'm that guy. Notification warning permanent. I'm not sure who's sending me that warning and why you guys are doing that. Talking about warning, notice, permanent ban, and why people come in here and play with YouTube and put in a fake notification that my channel is going to be shut down in 30 seconds. You know that happened to me before, and it scared me up off of my live. Then I talked to YouTube, and they say we don't send that. YouTube say we don't send those. I reached out to YouTube. It's somebody trying to play games, right? DJ Tony say I report. You reported it, DJ Tony? You saw it. Janet Lifestyle said, love all you do. Thank you, Janet. Abstract Production say you just gotta make sure your cup is full before you start giving for it to be sustainable. Abstract. And that's why now when people want information for me, like the guy on here said, give him mixing tips. Okay, consult with me. Follow me on Instagram. Go on my Instagram and consult with me. Or email me on Brand Artist Coalition. Do not sit here and ask me questions on my live when clearly you hear me talking about something totally different. It has nothing to do with mixing yet. Exactly, DJ Tony. So whoever the trolls are, coming warning, they're gonna create the little warning thing like I see on Facebook too. I'm like, stop coming in here playing games. I will report your channel. Exactly. Hey, and it makes you wonder. I ain't even talking about, now here's the weird part. I'm not even talking about no politics like I usually would be, right? Stuff about our community. We talking about music. And they come warning, notification, your channel will be shut down in 30 seconds if you don't close it out. I fell for the Willy Bobo the first time. And then I reached out to YouTube. It ain't gonna work this time. The Willy Bobo only works one time. And sometimes it don't even work once. But because I wasn't hip, I really thought it was real. And y'all remember I got off that live the time. I said, oh, I got to get off the live, y'all. They telling me if I don't stop talking. The Willy Bobo only works one time. Sabby D, what's up? Hit that thumbs up, Sabby. It's good to see you. Artists, if you really want to make it, you better start really putting into yourself. And the people that are helping you, that's believing in you, you better stop taking and start doing for yourself. Create a budget. Stop buying a whole bunch of new Nikes that you don't need. If you really want to be an artist, invest in yourself, or it ain't never going to happen. There's just there is no, it's black and white, no shades of gray. Period. It's not going to happen if you don't just invest in yourself. DJ Tony say, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Yeah. DJ Tony, you already know. D Mark in LA say, are you? D Mark, no, but your brother is. I hang out with him. He's a pimp. That's supposed to be funny. We supposed to be that shit corny. Fuck up out my live with that. Denmark, get out my live with that. I deal with the real G's, bro. Get up out my live. That was corny. And you seem like you might, if you an old dude, something really wrong with you. Go take your meds. That's what I'm gonna say. I realize a lot of people on YouTube are on meds. Please go take your medication. Please. Denmark, LA, go take your meds, fam. Stay up off my live with that corny shit. He see me in a robe and gonna ask me if I'm a pimp. Is that not the dumbest stuff in the world? I'm in a robe, my hair covered up. If I had my hair out with the curl, he would have called me all kinds of other stuff. It shows you men are insecure. Let me tell you what I've learned about YouTube. Men will see men on YouTube and they ain't even got to mess with them. They could just keep going. I'm going to show you about men and trolls. Men that are insecure with themselves will go into other men's YouTubes and fuck with them for no reason because they are insecure with themselves. Leanne, what's up? So they come across my YouTube. Now, I don't look nothing like no PI, no pimp. How would you get pimp out of seeing me in a robe? Did they, when they made robes, when you look up a robe in the dictionary, does it have a picture of a pimp? When you look up a robe in men's clothing, do they hire pimps to model the robes? Denmark, LA, you got something really wrong with you. It's a mental disconnection. And I suggest you go get counseling or take your meds because you're not really making any sense. Or are you a pimp and you feel threatened because you feel like I'm taking your swag when I never knew pimps swag was this because I'm not a pimp, so I wouldn't know. I don't know. Make it make sense, Denmark, LA, because you're not making sense there, buddy. Whenever I'm talking about something that's vital for a person to pick up on, we get the trolls and we get the cornballs come in here and say stuff. Joseph D said, classic stereotype. Exactly. He might not even been a black man. He might have just been somebody that wasn't black that really think that pimps wear silk robes. Like, what a dummy. Javon say, it's some weak men in this world these days. Seriously, demasculation of men is crazy. Yeah. And it's like men have a problem with men that take care of themselves. I'm seeing it. YouTube has taught me a lot, especially out of all the years I've been on YouTube, the last 6 months have been a class in understanding the psychology of people and how they operate on YouTube. It has been a serious class for me that I've had to learn fast. But what I've learned is a lot of men are insecure. They'll see a guy dressed nice. I've seen guys showing their muscles on their channel. They just doing themselves, not bothering nobody. And I read the comments of these rude men saying stuff to them, and they haven't done nothing to these people. And these men will come into their channels and trolls and just say the most disrespectful shit. If you don't like a person's channel and you come across it, just keep going. But why do you go into their channel and say something when you don't have to? They didn't ask you to come into their channel. You could just keep going. Keep your mouth shut and keep going. Raspberry said, you notice that too? Every time the conversation gets good, here comes it. Yes, exactly. Almost, you know what? Rajmir, Mr. Fame, what's up, family? Hit that thumbs up. It's good to see you here. I haven't seen you in a minute, family. Rajmir, it's almost like they don't want me to share any kind of information that's knowledgeable. I could be talking about the black community. You guys will watch me. For my regular subscribers, you watch me talk about everything. And as soon as I get deep on the subject, a troll will come in to throw me off. They'll come in and try to throw me off. Alex say, exactly. And some of them are trolls. And even, listen, we might as well call them all trolls because if they're making derogatory comments, they're trolling you. Right? But here's the crazy part. They have a choice to keep doing this. Instead, they stop and they looking. Let me see what I can say. Yeah, that's the spirit. Why? Why not just keep going? P said, as soon as it gets good, it P. That's exactly what Razmir just said too. It has to be on purpose because as soon as I start spitting, it's either other channels. Listen, I figured it out. It's either other channels who are trying to do what I do, or other channels who are trying to share the same similar content I'm sharing, but don't have the experience I have. Because as soon as I start really spitting the game on anything that's going to help people with knowledge, the trolls come in saying stupid stuff because they know I'm going to address them. But what I'm going to start doing is ignoring them and muting them out and not allowing them to affect my conversation that I am on a roll with. Yeah, that's all they are. Thank you, J-Bon. J-Bon say trolls ain't number YouTube paparazzi. I like that, J-Bon, because that's really what they are. Joseph D say nothing wrong with a couple of trolls. Good excuse to see you get into a Pastor James Brown most. Hey, listen, Joseph D. You know James Brown was like that, right? You couldn't get him started and play with him. Can you imagine James Brown on the internet live right now? What you say? Hold on, he go get the pow pows and what? James Brown didn't play. You couldn't play no games with James. James was R&B funk, smooth, dressed nice, hair whip, but he didn't play no games. People be getting R&B cats confused. They think we play games. They look at rappers and be like, oh, they look gangster, but they forget that the R&B singers in history, the R&B singers were the real gangsters. I'm just telling y'all. The R&B singer Sam Cooke, and I can keep going. James Brown, they was a real deal. No, I got you. Yeah, James Brown wasn't no joke. He gonna light a place up. Can you imagine him on the internet right now? I got to meet Mr. James Brown, man. It was the most amazing honor. I mean, I've met so many cool people, man. I'm just so happy. I'm thankful. See, what I learned is when you're thankful for what you have, the universe gives you more. God gives you more. You first got to be thankful with the little bit you got, and He opens up the door for more, right? Classic Campo say on God. I didn't listen, every OG that's on my channel, men and women, we didn't make it this long from being dummies. We made it this far because of humility, knowing how to control ourselves, and knowing how to love ourselves, and also knowing how to get back and being givers and balance out the giving and taking. We learned how, and that's why we're here. We've learned how to balance ourselves out, and thus for allowing us to still be here. Rashmir said, when the trolls come in the live, it turns into Earth, Wind, and Fire. Classic Kimpo say, Mr. Brown gonna pull up. Man, Mr. Brown didn't play no games. Oh, best believe. Let me tell you, there's two people I was around that I didn't say nothing crazy to them while I was around them. I know Mike Tyson. I've known him a long time. But every time I'm around Mike, I don't say nothing. A friend of mine was with me around Mike Tyson one time, and he was playing jokes. Like he was trying to talk like Mike, right? He was trying to, and then when I saw Mike go, what you just say? What did you say to me? And Mike gave that look like, I looked at my boy and said, bro, I was like, bro, don't do that, man. I didn't play with Mike, and I didn't play with James Brown. And I still don't play with Mike to this day. I don't even joke with Mike because I never know if he gonna take it as a joke or he gonna give me that look. I let him crack the joke, say the joke, and then I laugh. I don't play. I call Mike Tyson Mr. Mike. He be like, don't call me Mr. Mike Stone. I've been calling him that for years. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Cherry P said, oh, shoot, not Mike. Yeah, my boy almost got hemmed up by Mike. Real story. Oh yeah, James Brown James Brown was a no nonsense. He was as old school as it gets. Y'all know James Brown didn't play. He would pull up in a major way. You feel me? Classic say for sure. Hey, look, so listen. So I'm going to go on later. I'm going to be mixing this record. I want y'all to know I'm going to be mixing that record starting today so we can get it out in 2 days. So I'm going to go back on live. I'll be mixing that Compton record. I'm excited about it. We're excited about it. It's the first single off the hip hop compilation, the Compton record. Also, those of you that are going to be on the music review tomorrow, submit your music today. Once again, content, my moderators put it in there. You first got to pay the cash app and then submit the track for tomorrow. If you're going to be included in the music review, please do it ahead of time, okay? I'm going on later, so I'll be on later to do the mix. So don't forget, I'm going on later. I might do a notification ahead of time, but I will be going on later to do the mix, working on that mix live, okay? Peace and love. I'll see you guys later, and I'm out.